7 years. That's how long it had been since I last saw her. Yet the moment her eyes landed on me, it was as if time folded in on itself. "Long time no see," I said, my voice calm, measured. Her gaze drifted from me to the woman sitting beside me, my current wife. Her face drained of color, as though she'd seen a ghost, or perhaps something worse. She didn't say a word. She didn't need to. The panic in her eyes was enough. Then, without finishing her wine, without even asking for the bill, she bolted out of the restaurant. Moments later, my phone buzzed, her name on the screen. A message. "Divorce her now. Your new wife is—" The text cut off. But I didn't need the rest. I leaned back, let the weight of the moment sink in. And I smiled. Once upon a time, she was my everything. I was 27, freshly building my career, hungry but naive. She was my partner, my supposed confidant, my safe place. Or so I thought. We built dreams together in whispered conversations past midnight. Plans of a home, of children, of growing old hand in hand. She told me I was her rock, her anchor, her future. I believed every word. Looking back now, I see the cracks that were always there. The glances at her phone she thought I didn't notice. The sudden business trips. The way her laughter changed when she texted. Subtle shifts, tiny fractures. At the time, I brushed them off. Love blinds, but betrayal sharpens sight. The truth came to me not through confrontation, but by accident. A receipt crumpled in her purse. Dinner for two at a hotel restaurant I'd never taken her to. A date-marked client meeting in her calendar that lined up perfectly with it. I didn't accuse her then. I didn't explode, didn't shout. Instead, I began to watch. The late-night calls she excused as work. The sudden new perfume. The way she turned her phone upside down on the table. And then the final nail. The hotel key card, tucked in her wallet. Not even hidden. That night, while she claimed to be staying with her sister, I followed. I saw them together, my wife and my so-called best friend, in his car, his hands on her like they'd always belonged there. The betrayal carved into me like acid. But anger wasn't my weapon. Patience was. I didn't confront them, not then. Confrontation is noise. Revenge is silence. Over the next 6 months, I built my fortress. I copied her phone records, bank statements, emails. I documented every dinner, every overnight stay, every lie. I hired a discreet investigator, the kind who leaves no trail. Quietly, I shifted our finances. I rerouted savings into accounts under my name alone. I updated wills, business agreements, insurances. Step by step, I dismantled her safety net while she thought she was weaving mine. And I waited. Patience is a blade that cuts deeper than rage ever could. When I finally filed for divorce, she was blindsided. She thought I knew nothing. She expected tears, begging, a broken man clinging to what remained. Instead, she was met with precision. Evidence stacked like bricks. Affairs documented with timestamps, photos, receipts. My lawyer, armed to the teeth, dismantled her defense before she even opened her mouth. She walked away with nothing. No house, no car, not even a claim to the business she thought she'd leech off forever. I gave her silence as the final insult. No screaming, no insults, no closure. The last words I said to her during that trial were, "We're done." And now, 7 years later, here we were. Her, older, worn, hiding behind a face painted too heavily with makeup. Me, calm, steady, my hand resting lightly over the woman beside me. But it wasn't my ex-wife's reaction to me that fed the fire inside. It was her reaction to my current wife. The way her entire body froze, her breath caught, her hands trembled, as though she'd seen the grim reaper himself. She fled. She couldn't even look me in the eye. Then the text, "Divorce her now." That was all she managed before fear took her courage, and I finally understood. The man she'd betrayed me with, The one who played the role of my closest friend hadn't stayed faithful to her either. He'd left her for another, left her broken, bitter, and alone. And the woman he left her for? She was the one sitting beside me now, my wife, my revenge. It hadn't been coincidence. I'll admit that freely. After the divorce, I sought her out, my ex-best friend's new prize. I didn't rush it. I didn't seduce her with lies. I let time do the work. I listened when he didn't. I saw her when he overlooked her. She came to me on her own, fragile, disillusioned, angry. And I gave her what she needed most: respect, patience, and stability. It wasn't about love at first, not for me. It was about balance, about turning the blade back where it belonged. But somewhere along the way, it changed. What began as strategy grew roots. Genuine affection sprouted in the cracks of revenge. She became my partner, my true partner. Not a mask, not a betrayal waiting to happen. And tonight, as I watched my ex-wife crumble at the sight of us, I realized I had won twice. Once through vengeance, and once through love. The restaurant noise carried on as though nothing had happened. Glasses clanked, waiters moved swiftly, laughter filled the air. Only my ex-wife's absence left a hollow echo. I looked at my phone one last time. The half-written message. The desperation of a woman who had once thought herself untouchable. I deleted it. No reply. My wife leaned closer, asking if everything was all right. I nodded. More than all right. Because revenge, when executed patiently, doesn't just destroy the betrayer, it rewrites the balance of power. And as I lifted my glass in quiet celebration, I whispered a truth meant only for myself. You took everything from me once. Tonight, I took it all back.